Prabhuji, as we call him fondly, H.G.Kamala Lochan ji. He will be guiding us how to take care of the stress. Stress at times allows us to grow in our life, but stress also is very harmful if it goes beyond a particular limit. So we will learn today together how the management of stress is to be done. Before we go ahead, as you have already seen the chief guest of this session, the prominent speaker of the session already, let me tell you more about Guruji. H.G.Kamala Lochan Prabhuji was born in Mysore in Madhava Brahmin family in 1973. Prabhuji passed out his Marine Engineering Research Institute in Calcutta in the year 1994. It is there in the college as a cadet he came in touch with the devotees of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Prabhuji joined the Merchant Navy as an engineering officer and worked there for 3 continuous years. During this time, he felt the urge to teach the message of Gita to children and the youth. So, he gave up his lucrative job and joined ISKCON Mira Road. He is currently the president of ISKCON Temple, Mira Road. He is also a visiting professor in MS University for Management and Social Work faculties. Prabhuji also conducts seminars on personality development topics in educational and corporate sectors. His life is dedicated to teach children and youth the moral and spiritual values as enunciated in the holy book, Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We all welcome Prabhuji. And now I pass on the mic to Prabhuji.
So I'm very happy to see all of you. Good morning. And you're all in 10th standard. So definitely there is a kind of stress. But something which you don't know what this stress is. If I ask you to give a pen, you can give your pen to me. If I ask you to give, show me your book, you can show. If I ask you to show me your face, you can show. But if I ask you to show, give me some stress, put in a small box and give it to me, can you do that? It is something unknown. Though it is experienced by every one of us, but still it is an enigmatic thing. You know this word enigma. It is there, but you know at the same time don't know. That's called enigma. If you don't know, say I don't know. And if you say I know, but something in between. What's stress? What tension? Something like mind. Like if I ask you to show your mind. What is it to show your mind? What is the color of your mind? Sometimes I've got a heavy mind. Oh, how heavy is it? How many kilos is it? You know there's something called mind. At the same time, you don't know what exactly it is. That is called enigma. You're confused. So practically the whole world is confused about this word called stress. They have these words called stress, tension, and all these things. But exactly what it is, the entire medical science has no clue about it. Even the modern psychologists have no clue about it. The only clue we find about stress is from Vedic literatures. Though the handout which I given to you doesn't reflect the shlokas, the Vedic mantras and all. But the background, the pramana means the basis, is an extract from Vedic literatures. Very interesting. It's a very interesting phenomenon. Which the stress has been defined in the Vedic literatures as an energy. First thing is energy. Now you have energies, many kinds of energies. You have atomic energy. You have atomic energy. How many of you say it is good? How many of you say it's both? Oh, now it's both, isn't it? It's both. Why? Based on what it becomes good, based on what it becomes bad. Knife in the hand of a doctor, knife in the hand of a burglar. Same knife. One saves life, other takes life. So the problem is not with the knife. The problem is with the person. In the same way, whether it is knife or any kind of energy, whether it is atomic energy, whether it is nuclear energy, whether it is electrical energy, any kind of energy, whether it is time energy, the whole world is nothing but energy. Everything has got its use. It got its misuse. And it has got its underuse. And it has got its overuse. And it has got its proper use also. So it is not just misuse, use and misuse. There are so many factors to it. That is why when you study the Vedic literatures, you have a very broad vision of the entire world, including this term called stress. You have a very broad vision. It is not that, oh, stress, I'm very much stressed, I have to get rid of my stress. People generally think that I should get rid of my stress, and for that, some people go to temple, some people go to parents, and many of them they go to bar and restaurant and get drunk. I want to get rid of stress. Different means of getting rid of stress. The problem is not with the means, the problem is that he has a wrong attitude about stress. Wrong attitude. The proper attitude towards stress is that you should know its energy. Everything in this world is energy. You have electric energy. Everything moves in this world because of energy, and stress is an energy. And this has been identified by great sages in the past. And they taught to the entire world that stress is an energy. So don't be afraid of it. Suppose somebody who has no idea of what a computer is, what an electrical power station is, if he goes there, he feels very afraid. Suppose if I take you, as we've been working in the ship for 3 years I worked. Whenever I used to take some new people down, we were very scared. But for us, it was not very scary because it's very natural for us, because we know what it is. Fear is because you don't know. For a student who is appearing to examination, oh, nice, so happy to this question paper. One student, shivering. Bathroom. Why? What is the difference? Same question paper, same student, same school. One knows, other doesn't know. If you know, no fear. If you don't know, fear. As simple as that. So, stress is to be known. When you know stress, you don't have any fear about it. So you just have some small idea about stress. It's actually 3 hours and 3.5 hours seminar that they take in corporates. So yesterday I came to know about the subject and I thought, these days, during our time, the maturity what the graduates used to have, now the same maturity 8, 9, 10 students have. So I thought, let me take the subject which generally I teach to MBA students, which I used to teach this thing to MBA students in Baroda, many places, for 15 years back, 20 years back. So I thought the maturity level has gone up. Of course, so many things have also gone up. I don't want to talk about it. So I thought, let me take this thing to you, because when you say maturity, it's actually experience. Experience is because of exposure. So much of exposure to the world, right from age of 7, 8, 9. Because of that, you get more maturity. And there's also a kind of stress. Many years back, many of the school students come to a temple. The temple was not there at that time. They just constructed. So one boy used to come every evening for the Aarti. One day he was sitting there on the stairs. And I went and asked, what happened to you? Mother scolded her, what? Told no. And what happened to you? Why are you so much anxiety? And he told, oh, you put tension. in third standard. And I remember when I was in third standard, I was not even knowing there's a word exists, attention word exists. This means what? There is a change. So, first, as I've introduced stress as an energy to you, then let us see how it is created. How it is created. And nobody can say I am without stress. Everybody has stress. It is only the way you perceive it that makes you a different person. What makes you a different person is not that somebody has stress and you don't have it. Everybody has it. What makes you different is how you perceive it. So in this session, if I am able to achieve the objective of just to convey this message, that change the perception to the situations in this world, if you're able to understand this and somewhat implement it, my spending time with the teachers, principals, and organizing this whole thing for you, successful. Perception, that's all. So for that, let us know how it comes, it arises, this energy. It is there, but how it comes in our heart, in our mind. Now, examination is there. Now, you want to achieve, say, 80% marks in a particular subject. But you have the capacity only to get 60, for example. Not this thing. So what is the gap? 20%. That is called stress. You can only get 60. Means at present preparation, what the time you have. Based on that, you can get 60. Or you got 60 last time. And you want to get 80. So there is a gap. There is a gap between what you are and what you expect yourself to be. What you are and what you There is a gap. This is called what? Now, because of your expectation from yourself, there is a energy created. Isn't it? I want it. I want it. There is some energy created within you. And that is called. Now you go home and your mother says, no, usko 90 mila, tumko kali 600 mila. So now you are somebody and you are expecting yourself to achieve 80 and somebody else is there. He is expecting you to get 90. Another stress, another gap. Huh? So we are not just alone in this world. We are seeing ourselves and somebody else is also. So the three-dimensional phenomenon. You are what you are and you perceive yourself as somebody different from what you are, and your parents or anybody, your friend, they perceive you as somebody else. So there is a gap. Simple gap. And that gap is called stress. The gap in the identity is called stress. Very simple. You don't have to, for example, you're playing, say table tennis with your friend. Just playing table tennis. Casually you both are there. As soon as 10 people start watching, what happens? I want to show that I can defeat another person. So where did the energy come from? The gap. Huh? Because somebody is perceiving you and you are casual, but somebody is perceiving you that makes you feel that I should perform better. Isn't it? Even simple. For example, you are, I'll give you a, anyway, you're all age students, I'll give you a comic example. Now, for example, you have an young boy walking in the road. Usually walking. And a few girls standing there. Immediately comes. All of a sudden, he's happy. All of a sudden, he wants to become somebody else. He wants to become some Khan. He's a Dubey. Anyhow, just small things. Like teacher is not in the classroom. Because you want to show that we are good children. Though we are not. That's called stress. Now what did the stress made you? At least behave good. It made you better. So every situation is creating a stress, and that is good. If you perceive, it is good. If you perceive properly, it is good. If you don't perceive, it is not. So stress is an energy. Can one of you read the first paragraph? Stress is an energy. Yeah, hold it here. Yeah, you read. Your friend is telling you.
Stress is energy. Many of the people think stress is a disease, but actually it is energy created within the body and the mind of an individual for higher productivity. Stress is not negativity, but a positive sign. Stress is not incapacity, but an active principle. Stress is not a liability, but an investment.
Very interesting, isn't it? Now the seminar is named as stress. It is not named as stress removal. It is not named as. You can manage something when you have something. Somebody told I am a finance manager. I don't know how much finances your company has. Zero. So, you can manage something when you have something. Isn't it? So stress has to be managed. And if you don't have it, how can you manage it? And it is for sure that everybody has this stress. Even though somebody may say, I am in the most comfortable situation, there is stress of losing it. There is stress of losing it. I am losing it. That. Everybody is saying, no, student, it's permanent job for you, permanent thing, everything is permanent. But still there is a fear of losing. Why? Because there are many experiences of losing things in this life, in the previous life. So you just cannot. You cannot say that I have no stress or somebody has no stress. Everybody has it and they have to manage it. Somebody is having 1,000 crores company, still he has to manage that money. And somebody is having only 10 rupees in the pocket. That also requires management. It is not the volume, it is there. Like for a small kid, stress, so much of stress to manage it all. So much of stress actually. Even a small baby, so much of stress to walk. Isn't it? And for somebody sitting in a CEO, a big company, you know, what's going to happen? Corona is going to come back or what? So, stress is all pervading. Stress is synonymous to life. If you are living, you are stressed. As this wooden podium has stress. And this is not. It is not living. But we have it. Why? Because even ant has stress. Because the ant is living. An elephant has stress. It is living. It is a living being. That means stress is synonymous to life. And if you want to get rid of stress, what that person is trying to do? That means a wrong attitude towards stress or an attitude to get rid of stress leads to suicide. Most of the suicides are, practically all the suicides are because of no, not because of stress. It is because of wrong understanding of stress. They wanted to get rid of stress. Like sometimes in the house, Sometimes mother would say, Chari. She's so frustrated. With whom? I know, you all know. Then you should tell your mother, don't have a proper attitude towards stress. Okay, I learned. It's energy. And make a synergy out of it. So, what do you say? Yes. So, many people think stress is a disease, but actually it is not. It's an energy created within the body and the mind of an individual for higher productivity. Then stress is not a negativity but a positive sign. Now all the progress, what we have done in our life or somebody else has done in their life, an organization, the world, all the progress, do you think it could happen without stress? How many of you would study whatever you are studying or whatever you are studying now? How many of you would have done these things if there were no exams? So we are doing so many things because there is some expectation. As parents, expectation by ourselves. That is why we are doing it. So it's creating an energy, and that is positive. It is an investment. It is not a negative, it is a positive thing. So when some anxiety comes, tension comes, you think it is good. It is start with this thing, it is good. Now based on the attitude what we have towards this energy called stress, there are 5 situations. 5 situations, and they are named as follows. It is all there in the book, in your paper. One is known as under stress. Remember, it is one word. It is under stress. It is not under stress. It is what? Under stress. The situation is one word. And there is one called over stress. Third one is
Stable stress.
stable stress. Fourth one is
Productive stress.
fifth one.
Pleasurable stress.
5 situations in the same. Generally, I give an example of wrestling, martial arts. Let us take martial arts. Many of you know what martial arts, kung fu and all. So sometimes there is a grand master and a young person comes in front of him, looks at him, starts shivering. Before even you touch us, he falls down. Tell me, what is this stress called? Under stress. It's called what? So when the stress energy that is created is leading to a person to depression and guilt, that situation is called what is the problem? You have to face it, huh? Then why do you go to the school then? If you don't want to give the exam, or if you are afraid of it, why do you come to the school? Go to business with your father, no problem. You can be happy, no problem. It's not that everybody has to go to the thing, go MBA, that MBA, and they take all the certificates and make a bundle of the certificates and say, no, Priti De Baba, no, Priti De Baba. Not everybody has to do the same thing. Then that's what you do. You know, most of us do the same thing. So, it's called under stress. That means you are defeated before you. Let the exams come. Let me perform. Result all night. Take care. Till then, my parents are not going to scold me. After results only, we will prepare for that also. We'll prepare for that also. Everything you should be prepared for. So, before you even attempt something, making nervous about it and becoming a failure, Even without attempting the examination, you are becoming a failure. Many times it happens. Principal has called. What is it? Because one week now. He's done. Somebody saying, hey. You're a person. Let us know what you want to say. Tell. Interviewer. So, this one understood. And there's something on overstress. Overstress is what like this. This person standing this. Kung Fu. Grandmaster. I want to do it. I'll jump up and down. He's preparing, warming up. He warmed up so much, he exhausted all the energy. Exams are coming. I am going to make a schedule. 18 hours a day I'll study. This much I'll do. And the day examination is right. Whole night did not study. Headache has come. And fever. Becoming overexcited with the situation and not able to even really participate properly. Your capacities go down. It is like somebody wanted to become very strong. He thought, the more chapatis I eat, the more strong I become. Is it like that? 2 chapatis, this much energy. 3 this much, 4 this much, 10 this much. No, your energies are not dependent on how much you eat. It is dependent on how much you do to digest. So, not able to perceive situation properly or not having proper knowledge of things leads to under stress or but somebody say, I want to avoid stress. Is it under stress or over stress? Avoid. I want to avoid. That's why under stress. Going to depression. Most of the people go to depression because of and overexcitement, enthusiasm, headache, all these things. It's all because of. Now let us go further. I'm just giving a small overview of entire thing. Now, I'll give another situation. Now, these days the parents expect you that you should get 99 out of 100 minimum. Yeah, expectation is there. Now you got only 90. Only 90. Then your mother is waiting for you. Especially the South Indian, they're very nice. South Indian mothers are, right? You get even 1 mark less here and there. So now you're going to the progress card and so angry at you. Blah 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 blah. Then you say, I'm useless. You take everything what she says is true. When somebody becomes angry, you know what they say? Do they speak the truth? They say, you should have from experience. Learn from experience, learn. It's natural. If you take that whatever she is saying is true, then you have to go to the mental hospital. It's not true. Because she is overexcited and her over stress is creating what? Under stress for you. गाँव में जो तुमको जाओ दो में बना दी and you go out You're looking at a rope hanging. Picture में देखा चौथा idiot बोलूँगा I have not seen the movie, somebody told me. So, it is called, so somebody's overstress may create, no, at that time, it's your responsibility. What is your responsibility? Very, what you say is true. It's true. Huh? What do you say is true? You remember? I told you. Give me a laptop. Because these days studies are different from your day studies. Your day studies normally back up the textbook. But these days I have to do some report, but it's not presentation. I require all these things. Then you told, हमको तो कोई laptop नहीं था. Result यही आया, मैं क्या करूँ? Then what did you do? You took the stress which she gave and you put it on back. For what? An advantage. So you get the laptop, the next exam you perform it. I'm not saying everybody requires laptop to perform better. Just give me an example. So, life is nothing but how you manage stress, because life is stress. Father, mother, somebody shouting at you. Stay. How? So many times the volcano has come. And the volcano subsides. When the volcano subsides, all of a sudden, nice spring comes out. So much of love comes. So just wait for the particular time when she's going to love you. Time is going to come. This was not 1 hour, that's all. So it's called sin. At that time when she is shouting, you should shout back. So don't get overstressed, neither get. Two things happen. You also shout back or go outside. Sit in the park. Oh God, give me daily bread. I don't want to eat my mother's idlis. Oh. Don't do these two things. Just wait. Just wait. When energy is created, wait for some time. This time is energy of God which heals everything. Suppose somebody has got a wound. Now, even if you go to the doctor, you need to apply medicine. Ultimately, what cures is not the medicine. What cures is time. It requires time, isn't it? Doctor, I've been having pain. Doctor puts the medicine. Pain has not gone, you put medicine. And doctor said, it is 3 days due time. So, it's very important to be conscious about time. Everything requires time. Nothing happens immediately. So take shelter of time. Then when you take shelter of time, when you think this, every time is a cure, that is a time when you come to the level of stable stress. Become very stable. It is there, something is happening for you, but still you're stable. Like, I don't know how many have watched movies, what, 1950s and 60s kind of movies. Hero comes from this side, the villain comes from this side. And both of them holding hands like this. For 15 minutes they want to be like this. Very stable. Not that these days somebody comes and says, villain goes and falls down, other people come. Not that kind of thing. It was somewhat realistic. So this is called stable. Like in a wrestling match, both are very conscious. And you are very conscious. Yes, my mother is shouting. I know it's only temporary. So this is the time I should show my motherness to her. And she's my child now. Very excited about my wonderful marks and my wonderful behavior. So I need to be mother now. That's called what? Stable stress. So at least if you want to live at least minimum kind of life, proper life, you should be able to come to the level of stable stress. Generally in the management colleges, those who are trying to get big CEOs and all, I always use this word. The more stable you are, the bigger the table. The more stable you are, the bigger the table. You understood what I want to say. Very simple. Stable. Stable. And then there is something called, next step is what? Protective stress. What is protective stress? What is protective stress? I gave an example already, but still. You use the stress for your productivity. It's called protective stress. There are so many situations where we face that, again take the example of teacher, the parents are shouting at you, and then you're very stable, at the same time thinking. Listen to it, and then use it for your productivity. Use it for your productivity. How? You know, mother, why I got less marks? Tell why you got less marks? You remember? I told you that I want these things, and you did not give. That is fine. You give these things, next time you see. So, then she's under stress. हाँ बेटा मैं तुमको दे नहीं पाई वही मेरी गलती हो गया अरे just now you told you're shouting at me. So this is, I'm just giving an example because we face this situation as students. If you're in a company, the boss goes on shouting at you, I'll fire you, I'll do it. Then becomes peaceful. Boss, आपको बोला था ना, याद है आपको? मीटिंग में बोला क्या बोला था तुमने? बोला था मुझे गाड़ी दो। मार्केटिंग करना तो गाड़ी चाहिए। मैं बस पे जाऊंगा। कैसे मार्केटिंग होगा? तो बॉस क्यों लाता भाई? देना पड़ेगा। So you have used the stress for your. Sometimes in a very advanced level of martial arts, this grand master is standing like this, smiling. And the person who is trying to hit him or defeat him, he comes with all the energy. With all the energy and comes, hits him. Nothing happens to him. He goes back, tumbling. That means this person is a technique that you use the other person's energy against him. So this is a very interesting tool which everybody can practice and use it. Right? You use the stress for productivity. By practice of using some practices in our life, then when the situation of stress is there, your intelligence is functioning many folds. You become more aware. This is generally trained. This kind of training is given to the army personnel. The highest stress is there for them. Why? Because what is at stakes? Life is at stakes. Here only business, some money is at stake. Maybe here some entrance examination, some admissions in some colleges, they are at stakes. But in army, what is there? Life is at stakes. And for them, they have to not only be stable but also be very productive. In the sense that they know the army is there, the enemy is there, they are shooting, and I'll lose my life anytime. At the same time, they should be, intelligence should function face, so that they can use the enemy's weakness to their. So this kind of training. It comes by discipline and putting yourself into so many situations. It comes by experience. It doesn't come overnight. Actually, as children, you're very intelligent in the parents. I mean, it happens, isn't it? Your father or mother is trying to do something with a smartphone. You're more intelligent, more aware. Sometimes they will able to pick up something, grasp something. It's natural. It happens. But one thing is there. You're more intelligent, more knowledgeable, more informed, more smart. But one thing they have, we don't have. What is that?
Experience.
You cannot purchase it. You cannot. You have to go through certain situations in life to get that experience. So stable stress you can do from today itself. But to come to the level of productive stress, it requires time. And time, not just time, requires observation of elderly teachers. How they have faced the situation. And that is why we study the stories of great personalities, whether they're freedom fighters or great saints. We study the stories. Why? Why we study the stories? Because we get experience by reading them. We get experience. Oh, they have faced like this, so I should also do this. But this kind of experiential learning happens only when you are stable. But if you are in depression or in aggression, it cannot happen. And that is called education. The Veda defines education as nothing but gaining experience. Gaining experience. Unfortunately, we have school buildings. Experience cannot happen in class. It can only happen in the field. Once I went to a college. You must be knowing, it's a college called N.L. College. Very famous management college. I invited to give a seminar. When I gave a seminar, I was just talking to the professors there. I asked them, why do you call us for these seminars? Then the professor told me, we have studied management, we teach them, but hardly there is any attendance in our class. They give attendance and go away or sleep. But Swamiji, when we call guest lectures, attendance is 100%. And we are told that we have to have these many guest lectures. Otherwise, the university, the team which recognizes it, not recognized. Then I asked them, why? What is the reason for it? And they were telling me, I don't know the reason. The reason is you are teaching from the book. You are teaching from the book. When the guest lecturer comes, he doesn't even know the book because he is not studying, he is not an MBA. He is teaching from what? He or she is teaching from experience. So what we learn is from experience. When Krishna and Lama, Balram went to Gurukul, Sandipur Muni Ashram, how many classrooms did Sandipur Muni had? One classroom. The biggest classroom which anybody can have in the whole world. What is the roof of the classroom? What is the extent of the classroom? To the extent you can see. At the house for grazing, see the birds, see the animals. Since you are done stand, I can just go to one step ahead in Upanishads. There is one Upanishad called Gayatri Upanishad. And in that, education has been defined. What is education? In Upanishad, there is one one section called Rubu Valli. In that, Rubu Vai Varunihi, Rubu, he goes to his father Varuni. And says, my dear father, please tell me where everything comes from. Eto Vaivani Putani Jayanti, from where everything comes from. By whom we are all sustained. After destruction, where everything goes, he says, go do tapas tattva. Go to the forest, you'll find out. He did not say go to the school, go to the college, find out. Go to the classroom. Then you'll get only education, knowledge, experience. Then he went, he saw all the animals. They are doing one thing, they are all eating. Oh, Anna, Deva, Bhutan, Jayanti. And they put only byproducts. We see biology in the textbooks. But actual biology is when you go to botany, is when you go outside and see. The projector we have. It's a problem. You make a lot of knowledge, but you don't know. Once I took a children for a camp. Yes, from your school only. I was just into going to different schools. Practically morning, 9 o'clock till 5 o'clock, I was in different schools in Deer Road, etc. 6-7 years, every day. So one day, few students from your school, I took them to one small camp, one small Goshala camp. So then, how long I'm going to teach them Gita, Bhagavatam and all. I just told them, how many of you, they're all 8th standard, 9th standard. What me? Okay. I told them to find out one plant and then name the parts of the plant. And they came with the entire thing. One boy told me, I understood what actually plant is. I saw it and experienced it. So I'm just saying all these things because education means experience, learning. What you learn in the book is fine. It has to be learned because you pass the exam. But when you get experience in life, by observation, by studying about saints and great personalities, that not only inspires, it also gives a lot of, so that you can at least come to the level of leisure, productive. You can be very productive in life. Many times some students who are failures, not so good students in 10th standard, 12th standard, they become big businessmen. All of a sudden, they become big, they do good in their management and marketing. Why? Because they got experience. Their failures made them more stronger. So, for that, when problems come, when situations are there where it's very difficult to face, don't be afraid. You find there is something in it for me to make myself better. There is something in it for me. Every life situation, it may be a very worse situation in our life, very difficult situation, but there is something in it for me to learn. There is something in it for me to progress. Something in it. No situation is bad, no situation is good, no situation is right, no situation is wrong. Every situation there is a learning for me. Every situation there is something for me to gain from it. Nothing to lose. Even loss is not a loss. Loss is also a learning. Sometimes gain may be a loss because of some gain, you may become very proud. And the pride, because of the pride, you may misbehave with someone. And you insult someone, gone. We have so many situations. Like we have the tortoise and the hare. It gained a lot of gain. And not okay, I gained. But that gain made that rabbit sweet. So, just because you have some success in you, that is not enough. Learn from that. Every situation in life should be a learning situation. That makes you more strong. Now, Coming back to the last one, it is called pleasurable stress. I'll finish my topic with that. There are so many other things you can read and learn on your own experience. I'm not going to talk much about it. Because I'm just going to give you some openings in your consciousness, in your thinking, to perceive life. Pleasurable stress is a state in which stress is no more a stress. When the stress energy that is created is giving pleasure to a person, at that level, stress is no more a stress in oneself. It's always happening. I'll give you an example of Srila Prabhupada, who is the founder of ISKCON. He started a worldwide movement with nothing practical. And there was a big wave in Germany. Practically every city in Germany had a Hare Krishna temple. Every city had. And every day, at least 5,000 Bhagavad Gitas were distributed to people. They were purchasing on the streets. Just imagine if it was in Germany. And every place, there were just program here, Nam Sankirtan. It's a big success. If you see from the point of view of the organization, it's a big success. Because of this, you know what happened? The German government became very disturbed. They thought these Hare Krishnas are going to capture entire Germany. And everywhere you will find people with tilak and doing this thing. So afraid. Because they found many of the military officers, Germans, they were practicing Krishna consciousness. So the Senate sat overnight and banned the Hare Krishna movement to control and execute their orders that all temples should be broken, all the Qurans, the books should be burned, and where Hare Krishna, they are seen in the road with explicit dress like this, they should put in jails. It's a fact. So they brought the army which was deployed in other places, which was not affected by that. And they were brought, and everything was in a mess. All of a sudden, overnight. And the papers they published, the Hare Krishnas are thieves. These newspapers. German controlled government, press. And those people who are coming, who are there, the leaders there, they all came running to Srila Prabhupada. Oh, everything is burning, everything is going on. They're printing in the newspapers, Hare Krishnas are thieves. And Prabhupada was smiling. Very good. What is very good? You're so happy. Everything is going on burning. You're so happy about it. He told that every day in the morning, the Germans are chanting Hare Krishna. Because they open the newspaper. What they read? What is written? Hare Krishna? No, Prabhupada, they are saying Hare Krishnas are thieves. Then Prabhupada said, Hare Krishna is spiritual. Our thieves is material. Matter doesn't matter. Then this story is called, Prabhupada, we are getting bad publicity. Bad publicity or good publicity? Publicity is publicity. When somebody talks ill about you, you can learn publicity. No, ऐसे बोले, विद्रोह करूँगी इसको. That is a very. It's not easy. For that, we require some special training, spiritual training. And that is what the Bhagavad Gita is. That is what the Bhagavad Gita is. The same Arjuna. What was he? The situation of Arjuna, war, before the war, what was his situation? Which stress was he in? And Duryodhana was in? How intelligent they are. We think, प्रभुजी वो बच्चे हैं, वो ये सब क्या समझेंगे? अरे आप बच्चे हैं। And this is called experience. Because you could relate so many things in your life when you're speaking, isn't it? Huh? That's called experience. Experience to learn. So then, by hearing the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna came to the level of what? Not only stable, pleasurable. Because he was playing, he was man manaho, man bhakto, man pleasurable. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, once you come to this position of pleasurable stress, he says, Guru Abhinam Chalyate. You will not be disturbed even with the greatest of the problems in this world. Adhimannyin adhikam lam, adhikam tata, namanyate adhikam tata. He feels that there is nothing superior to this. This is what everybody is thinking. I want to become this, I have to achieve this thing, I have to become this thing. Because they are not happy with what they are. Arjuna was in that state. Every situation, the war, you see, Arjuna's side, that is Pandava's side, there were only 7 Akshayani army. On the side of the Kauravas, there were 11 Akshayani army. On the side of the Kauravas, Bhishma, Drona, Kripa. So many great personalities. Karna, very powerful. They are better artist than archery, science. He was better trained. Karna, spirit of Arjuna. But in spite of that, Pandavas were very because of practicing spiritual culture, spiritual knowledge as mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. So I will stop here. Any questions? Couple of questions we should take. I know there is another session starting. So still, we start about 5 minutes late.
Children, if you have any question, please feel free. Raise your hand.
Any question, even though it is not related to what we spoke today. Anyway, everything is related.
Meeka is there actually to express her gratitude on behalf of all the students. Meeka, please come on.
A very good morning to one and all present here. I am H.G.Kamala Lochan, the school captain, and I'm feeling really honored and privileged to formally propose the vote of thanks. I would like to thank our dear principal ma'am, our core team members, and all our teachers for providing us with this golden opportunity. I would like to thank Kamala Lochan prabhuji and Mataji's for their eminent presence today. Stress is something that influences our life on a daily basis, and understanding it is a very important thing. So thank you so much prabhuji for sharing your wisdom with us today, and I'm very sure that this session was very beneficial for all of us. And lastly, a very big thank you to all the children for being such great sports. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Join the team.